I'm going to state a very unpopular opinion. Brad Pitt is the most handsome man in Hollywood. Aww. Just kidding, everyone agrees with that. But here it is, for real. 2020 was the best year of our lives. All right, let me explain. Admittedly, I've been using this year as a running gag and symbol of everything wrong with the world. Nobody will ever want to remember this. 2020, as all know, has been a scumbag year, and I felt a bit burned out because of also a lot of personal stuff that was going on this year. You know, typical 2020 kind of stuff. And surely a lot of bad things have happened on the global scale and by extension to many of us individually, including myself. As a result, I've noticed that this year has made me quite bitter and pessimistic. But I don't want to be like that. So, in terms of me making this video defending how this year has actually been great, don't get me wrong. This year sucked in many ways, some of which we didn't even know existed. But I believe we are better than this. We are better than becoming irritated, grumpy, bitter people because of the stuff that happened to us this year. I don't want to have bad memories. I want to have good ones. Let's start with something simple. At least we will remember this year. Though we might actually be trying to forget it. But do you have any clue where you were in 2013 or what you were doing in 2016? If you're thinking, wait, actually I do, well, maybe you in particular do remember every year, we get it, you're special, but most of other people don't. But worry no more, because we'll always know where we were in 2020. At home. As a matter of fact, after this year, we might start referring to things as before and after 2020. So as annoying, difficult, dreary, tiresome, aggravating, and gloomy this year was, at least we'll remember it. And yes, I know it's a bit cliche, but everything that happened this year, or it didn't happen because it was cancelled, inevitably taught us how precious some things are. You know, sometimes I catch myself thinking back to some party or event, conference, or just hang out at someone's place, and then I get this thought like, oh yeah, that was back then when that kind of thing was normal. But of course, all of this will sooner or later be over and we'll go back to living normal lives. And yes, it might feel like we wasted a year of our lives, perhaps maybe what was supposed to be one of the best years of our youth, but that only teaches us to make the best of the years and the time we have. You know, funny enough, when I was looking back at 2019, I realized that I had spent so much time brooding alone at home. So, as one of my New Year's resolutions for 2020, I had decided to spend more time hanging out with people. And then 2020 happened. But because I was then forced to spend even more time at home, I actually had to work harder to hang out with people. And then when I did, it felt so much more precious because of that. To quote Theodore Roosevelt, "For those who fight for it, freedom has a flavor that the sheltered will never know." And I don't know about you, but I also caught myself getting so carried away, complaining or simply joking about 2020, that I completely oversee many good things that happened this year. And of course, there were good things that happened. Maybe they're not fantastic, maybe they're not life-changing, but they are good. Even if it's simply the fact that you were healthy, that you had something to eat every day. This is what some people don't have, not only this year, but every year. So what if we had to stay at home? At least we have homes. So what if we didn't get to see our families? There are people who don't have a family. So what if we didn't get to travel? Some people don't ever get to do it. And if you feel like you could have been more productive this year, yeah, we all could have been more productive, but cut yourself some slack. It was a weird year. And after all, that's what the New Year's resolutions are there for. Ultimately, there is one last thought I'd like to leave you with. Now, this is not a Theodore Roosevelt quote. This is not some pseudo wisdom that I pulled out of my... This is something my good friend, my countryman and training partner told me. And this guy is properly buff, so you better take this seriously. He said, "Partner, treat every day in your life as if it was a guest who comes to your house and will never come back again." So, as weird and annoying as this year was, remember that it will never come again. And we never know what's coming next. Honestly, you can't know that sometimes later in life, a time might come even more challenging than this, and we might look back at this year thinking that it was actually not all that bad. But 2020 will never come back again. Instead, a new guest is coming to your house. So treat them well. Try to have the best possible time with them, regardless how much you like them or don't like them. Life is not what happens to us. It's what we make of it. That's what this year had taught us, and that's why 2020 has been the best year of our lives. Well, yes, it's very cheesy to say that, but it's the holidays. By the way, let me just say a few words about the sponsor of this video, and that is you, my friends. Thank you so much for the support you've been giving me this year with this channel. Trust me, every time you like a video or leave a comment or share it or send me a message saying that you like the video, or it means so much to me. You know, currently my channel is really small, really little, so it's a long and sometimes lonely road because I spend a lot of days alone here in my studio, recording and editing and writing and doing this and doing that. So thank you very much for that. Thank you for supporting me. Happy New Year, my friends. Let's make it a great one. Oh, and see you next year.